Game 2 of the 41st District Tournament, the Frankfort High Panthers taking on the Grade Crossing Warhawks. Stick with us here for all the action on the Cable 10 Game of the Week. Frankfort High and Grade Crossing to go at it here in Game 2. Frankfort High coming in as the number 3 seed. Grade Crossing is the number 2 seed. And we've got it all for you here on the Cable 10 Game of the Week alongside Chris Cole. I'm John Piesheimer. Of course, our first game tonight, if you missed it, Franklin County, all over Western Hills by a score of 11-1. That one only went 6 innings. I feel like we might have more competitive games here on our hands tonight, Chris.
Yeah, these two teams split in the regular season. Great Crossing, you know, we know how powerful they are in athletics, but the little train that could is Frankfort High. You know, got one from Great Crossing during the regular season. You got to think it's got to give them some, you know, momentum and some positive outlooks going into this game.
Yeah, talking to a few people about it, they really thought Frankfort High probably should have had both of those games as the second game that Grade Crossing won 10-3. That one actually went to 8 innings, and we weren't able to be there here on Cable 10 to give you that one, but it seems like it might have just been a situation of arms just running out for Frankfort High, but obviously very competitive. It went to extra innings, so Frankfort High definitely in this one, a lot closer matchup maybe on paper than we had in the first one, as you see Nate Atkins, who takes the mound for Grade Crossing here. And the Warhawks getting ready to take the field, as we're going to have leading off for Frankfort High here in a little bit. It'll be Garrett Wellman, number 1, who I believe is also starting at pitcher for Frankfort High, and we've seen him have some pretty good performances out there this year. We've gotten to cover Frankfort High on a couple of occasions, and he is impressed with his toughness and ability to just hang in there, especially when things aren't going his way out there. You know, that's a sign of a good pitcher. When they get in a little bit of trouble, they can kind of work their way out of it.
Yeah, and we saw that in the first game that, you know, Hills really wasn't able to get themselves out of jams. You know, the pitchers that was on the mound, but County was, you know, especially early in the game. But this ought to be a pretty good ball game.
Atkins takes the mound, and we've got Wellman stepping into the box. We'll get this one underway here. Of course, we mentioned the number 3 and the number 2 seeds going at it here. And the winner will move on tomorrow night to play Franklin County.
And most important, the winner goes to the region next week.
That's true. First pitch is outside from Atkins for ball 1, and we are underway. That one catches the outside for strike 1. Swung on, and that one is going to fall for a single. Third pitch of the game. Wellman gets a hold of it and gets on.
Saw something that he liked, took it to the opposite field. Good hard hit right there for Wellman to start the game off.
Now with the runner aboard, that'll bring up for Frankfort High.
Number 14, Smith.
Jonathan Smith coming in. Jonathan Smith with an average of 312 so far this season. He's got 15 RBI. It'd be a big time to pick up another one here if he could get something into the deep outfield. Instead, he's going to try a sack, bunt. Just gets a little bit too much of the bat around on that one.
good job. You know, Smith coming in, and you said RBIs.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there, but that's a Pavlovian response. Anytime I see a player fall, I have to point it out. Our eagle-eyed replay guru, Mr. Doug Crow, catching that one.
But Smith trying to advance the runner here early.
Oh, 1 is outside. Bring the count even at 1-1. This will make Nate Atkins' 10th game in which he's appeared as a pitcher this season. He has an ERA of 1.75 for 28 innings pitched. That's pretty good. That's getting it done. Nearly caught Wellman napping over there. That's a fly ball, and that's going to be a put out at first for the first out of the game.
Can of corn there.
Number 8, Seabury.
And this will bring to the plate Seabury for Frankfort High. James Seabury. Pretty good performance in both games against Great Crossing from the plate earlier this season. 4 hits total over 2 games. 2 runs scored. He fouls that one back to bring the count even. Seabury leading this team in batting average on the season, which is what you'd expect from somebody that's hitting in the 3rd spot on the roster. 388 average on the season, 67 at bats, 26 hits, 11 RBIs, 30 runs scored.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you want out of the 3rd hole there, is to be productive at the plate.
That was close to being strike 3 right there. I thought they were going to punch him out.
Yeah, that was one that I'm not sure that you lay off of when you're 0-2.
Yeah. There's the 1-2 to Seabury. He's going to throw on to first as Atkins checks the runner, but Wellman, I believe after that first time that he nearly got caught over there, he's being a little more conservative with his leadoff. Now the 1-2, and Seabury gets a hold of it, and that's going to drop into left field. Here comes the throw to first. It's going to be well behind. Getting the runner to third is Seabury. Garrett Wellman standing on third, runners on the corner. No, Seabury actually got to second on that, and that is what the throw got you right there. But you got to throw it to third because you got to keep the runner coming to third honest. But whatever the case, Seabury with a nice piece of hitting there, and now 2 runners in scoring position for Frankfort High early on with only 1 out.
Yeah, I mean, Great Crossing, I don't want to say it was a shift, but they were shading over to the right side of the field, and Seabury able to poke it down the left field line, opposite direction.
So that's a double for Seabury, advancing the runner to third. Panthers threatening early. Big swing from Hamilton to bring the count even at 1-1. Stephen Hamilton here. Another player batting over 300 for Frankfort High here in the cleanup spot, and he's got some cleaning up that he has the opportunity to do here. Runners on second and third.
Ideally here would be to take one opposite field away from your runners.
And he takes one out into the outfield. That's going to be an out, but run likely to score here. And it gets in. Runners on second and third still. The runner stays on second. Seabury was not able to leave on that just because of where it was, but getting home is Wellman, and Frankfort High cracks the scoreboard first here in the top of the first.
Number 21.
Yeah, deep
Ludwig.
enough to get the sacrifice fly.
Yeah, and cutting off the throw was probably the right call there by the pitcher, because I don't think the throw on its own was going to make it home near in time, and that leaves you with the possibility of Seabury making it to third. A big swing and a miss for strike one for Ludwig. Drew Ludwig at the plate now. Ludwig pops it up straight back. I was just waiting for the thud of that hitting the top of our broadcast booth here.
Or my car.
Well, I think your car is insured. I don't know about the broadcast booth. But if it is, I know a good roofer. There's Ludwig finding himself down 0-2 early here. Runner on second. 2 outs, and that one just missing. That looked pretty good from here, Chris.
Yeah, it looked, I mean, maybe a little outside.
Might have just come across a little bit high and outside. And at this point, if you're Atkins, that is smacked into center field. That'll be an out over to left field, put out pretty easily, even though that was hit on a line. But Frankfort High gets one across and cracks the scoreboard first. Great crossing coming to bat.
Yeah, this is Joe. You need a tree removed from your yard? Yeah, I can do that for you.
Don't take a chance on any Joe Schmo. Call Estate Tree Service for all your tree care needs. Since 1957, Estate Tree Service has provided safe, quality tree care at a fair rate. From tree removal and pruning to stump grinding and debris cleanup, we've got you covered. Call the trusted professionals at Estate Tree Service today.
Game of the Week is brought to you by Estate Tree Service. We have a solution for all your tree care needs. Estate Tree Service provides expert tree care and preservation. Call 502-229-5258 for a free estimate.
When she rolled up, I was shook. Like the fit was giving main character energy, no cap. And I was being like real extra, you know? Exactly. It's whatever.
It may be difficult to understand everything your teenage daughter is saying, but with a Kentucky Farm Bureau agent in every county, at least it's easy to get great insurance. Kentucky Farm Bureau, big on commitment.
Oh snap, what's the 411? Hashtag cool dad.
Dad.
1-0 your score. Frankfort High able to get across as Garrett Wellman scoring on the sac fly from Stephen Hamilton. Now Garrett Wellman getting ready to take the mound here, as you see. Comes in with an ERA of 1.34 on the season. That is absolutely elite level. Out of 36 innings pitched, by far the pitcher with the most work here in the pitching lineup for Frankfort High. 29 strikeouts on the season. He'll face off against Dustin Hoffman. Stands in for strike one. Dustin Hoffman smacks one to right field on the second pitch. Great crossing, has a runner aboard after 2 pitches.
Number 12, Morris.
Take a look at the Whitehead Hancock replay. Nice contact that time by Dustin Hoffman. Sophomore, so he's got another couple of years before he hears that graduate joke over and over and over again. And that'll bring to the plate Zach Morris as we continue with our cavalcade of people who have got to be tired of hearing the same line.
So we had Dustin Hoffman, Zach Morris,
Yeah.
Bayside High School,
Yeah.
Saved by the Bell.
I know.
Where's
It's a
Screech?
That's a pretty big news transfer for him to come to Great Crossing. Quite a get. And Hoffman hit by the pitch. Now suddenly, after 4 pitches here, Great Crossing with runners on first and second.
Number 34, Atkins.
Pitch runner already.
We've got a pinch runner for
Morse.
Yeah. Do you think he called time? Called a timeout to get a pitch runner in? Seems to be his specialty.
Maybe. Well, he is the catcher, so that gives him extra time to get his gear.
That's true. This one smacked into dead center by Atkins. It looks like the center fielder's going to be able. He's going to have to go on a run, and he misses it. This is trouble for Frankfort High as Great Crossing going to be able to advance the runners at least, and they're going to stay on second and third. But now the bases are loaded, and Wellman has all of a sudden thrown 5 pitches and in quite a bit of trouble here.
Yeah, that was smacked and just another outfielder unable to pick it up.
Yeah. We don't have the sun. We don't have the sun to give him the benefit of the doubt anymore. It has gone behind the hills here as we are officially in dusk-like conditions. That brings the left-hander Mullenix to the plate. Peyton Mullenix batting .361 on the season. Here in the cleanup role and has the dream scenario for any cleanup hitter. Bases loaded. And they're loaded for a guy with 19 RBIs who leads, or actually he's just 1 under Zach Morris in RBIs for the season, but 19 is still getting it done in 61 at-bats. High and outside, 2-1 the count is. Garrett Wellman has pitched so fantastically this season, but he's in a jam early here. That one, I don't know whether that was a perfectly timed car alarm going off or if that one just resulted in an insurance claim. I don't know whether Garrett Wellman's looking the runner back due to force of habit because not like he has anywhere to go.
Yeah, it's.
But pitcher's getting a rhythm, I think, and they don't want to break that rhythm. And the way he's been pitching this season, I'm certainly not one to question it. That one's high and brings the count even, or full rather.
You got to think coach is wanting something in play, maybe a ground ball.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Wellman sits one down as Mullenix takes a seat.
Number 17, Mullins.
Now Wellman only 2 outs away from getting out of this early jam he's found himself in. That was a big-time pitch. Mullins swinging at the first pitch, and that looks like it's going to be a fly to deep right, and that will probably score a run for Great Crossing. Coming in without much trouble there is Dustin Hoffman. That ties the score here, but for Frankfort High, you might almost take that at this point, given the situation, because you get another out on the board, and you had that insurance run that you got in the first inning.
Yeah, you don't want to do anything bad here. Easy plays at first or second, or get a strikeout.
That brings Matt Lacey up to the plate. We're going to have a throw to second. Throw is in time, but we've got a collision right now, and it looks like both players might be worse for wear on that one. As bouncing up pretty quickly there, and a run scoring on that for Great Crossing as the runner scores from third. Let's take a look at it here in the replay. My eyes were kind of on the player here for Frankfort High. That was Seabury that took a big time hit, and that was just an ugly collision. Let's take a look at it again. I think it was just one player thinking nobody at fault there, because I mean, he's obviously got the right to jump for that, does the Great Crossing base runner, and Seabury's trying to make sure the ball doesn't get by him so that the exact thing that happened didn't happen with the run scoring. But everybody seems to be okay. The players are kind of laughing about it, which is what you want to see.
Yeah, and I mean, I think the leg caught him in the shoulder. Of course, concussion protocols and everything.
Yeah, it's the proper response being an abundance of caution here. But that scored Zach Morris from third. Matt Lacey still at the plate here, the second baseman. He gets a hold of one, and that is going to get into the gap. Bounces away from the left fielder. That'll be another run across for Great Crossing. Lacey slides in at second. Great Crossing doing a little business here in the bottom of the first.
Number 14.
And the thing that hurts you if you're Frankfort High is they've scored 2 runs now with 2 outs.
Yeah, and another misplayed ball in the outfield. And, you know, with all the rain that we had yesterday, you know, is it completely dry out there?
Yeah, you wonder if that grass out there is bogging down a little bit. Another one smacked out, and that one is going to get by the left fielder. This will score at least 1 for Great Crossing. Lacey coming around to score. It's Coulter with the second straight double here. Frankfort playing just a little bit shallow there, maybe to try to make sure that was the outfield, and there it kind of burned them a little bit. 4-1 the score, and Wellman is going to come out of the game here. We've got a pitching change on our hands, I believe.
Pitching change for the Panthers.
We have
number 14,
got
J.D. Smith.
number 14 for Frankfort High coming in relief.
Smith.
Jonathan Smith coming on. He is the second most used pitcher. He's got an ERA of 4.41 on the season. He will come in for relief of Garrett Wellman, and that was not a Garrett Wellman type performance. You know, what we've kind of seen from him, you know, 17 pitches in and he's already out of the game. But, you know, those things happen sometimes, and it's not all on him. Had a couple of balls that just kind of got away from guys out in the outfield, and now we'll see if Jonathan Smith can come on in relief. And we'll We'll see what he can do as he's got a 3-run deficit. He has to try to get back here. Another run that will be hung on Wellman if it comes across. Great crossing with a big first inning. Well, we've got a second. I want to thank our sponsors for Game of the Week baseball all season here in 2023. Estate Tree Service and J.O. Osborne with Franklin County Farm Bureau. Thank you so much for making baseball and softball here on the Cable 10 Game of the Week possible. Smith is ready, and he will step onto the mound. He is facing Ben Lacey this time. And that one got right up on the hands of Lacey. I think it hit the bat just right above where he was gripping it.
That was more of a swing to defend yourself than...
Yeah, let's take a look at the Whitehead Hancock replay here. Yeah, that was almost, I think you're right, Chris. I think he was just trying to get it, keep it from hitting his hands. It's a strike nonetheless, and he just picked up another one with that foul tip back. So 1-2 the count. Smith on the mound would desperately like to get out of this inning without giving up another run. The 1-2 swinging strike 3 sits Lacey down. Nice job by Smith to put out the fire. But Frankfort High gave up 4 in the bottom of the first. Coming to bat in the top of the second. We'll have it for you. Stay with us here on the Cable 10 Game of the Week.
Game of the Week is brought to you by J.O. Osborne with the Franklin County Farm Bureau. The Franklin County Farm Bureau's J.O. Osborne wishes all of our local teams a healthy, competitive, and successful season. J.O. and Kentucky Farm Bureau have been insuring Frankfort since 1943. With them on your team, when you experience a loss from an accident or storm, it can be a real game changer.
In today's fast-paced housing market, you need realtors with experience who understand that timing is essential when finding the perfect home for the right price. Tim and Rebecca Hubbard with Exit Realty Crutcher are here to ensure that you and your family have a positive experience from start to finish.
Real estate is what we do,
and families are why we do it.
Game of the Week is brought to you by Tim and Rebecca Hubbard with Exit Realty Crutcher. Choose local realtors that treat you like family because real estate is what we do and families are why we do it.
Welcome back to Western Hills High School. Game 2 of the 41st District Baseball Tournament, Night 2. And Frankfort High coming to bat here with the 4-1 deficit hanging over their heads. As Austin Wellman steps into bat. Wellman swinging at the first pitch and making no contact. Looking at strike two, excuse me, is Atkins finally finding that corner that he was looking for in the first.
Yeah, a great pitch there, sinking ball away from the right-handed hitter.
Now Wellman, Austin Wellman, kind of having to swing at it just to stay alive here. Waited on that one just a little bit on top of it, or underneath of it, excuse me. fouling that one back, staying alive here. Austin Wellman, the left fielder. And the 0-2, and this time he gets it into play. A couple of Warhawks running for it, and that one falls safe. But the throw on to first, they've got Wellman stopped and stranded and out. I think Wellman may have seen that fall just inside the baseline and gotten a little bit too excited, started to take off for second, realized it wasn't there, but realized that just a little bit too late.
Yeah, trying to be aggressive.
That's a fantastic run from center field to try to knock that one down.
Number 2, Hancock.
And great crossing. Give them credit, doing what you have to do in that situation, not losing their heads, realizing where the runner's at. And just as soon as Wellman was on base, he wasn't. Now coming to the plate is Ty Hancock, the center fielder. Two and one the count so far. Atkins on top of the count to Hancock. He gets a hold of one, popped foul.
I think it hit a cow.
I think it did. A little bit outside, more than a little bit, I guess. That brings the count full. Hancock's had a bit of a rough season on the plate. This would be a great time for him to break out of that. Takes a big chop at it. And that one's going to go over the Frankfort High dugout. Putting our first base camera in a little bit of danger there, but Zach laughs in the face of danger.
Hancock hanging in there pretty tough.
Yeah, this has been a good at bat. Payoff pitch, and Hancock takes a big cut at it. Fouls another one back. But one of the key things right now, he is getting Atkins to have to throw more and more pitches. So you see Nate Atkins there. And delivers. And Ty Hancock's going to get aboard. That was a fantastic at bat, like you said.
Number 4, Dutta.
That will bring Jay Dutta to the plate. Dutta batting .220 on the year as Atkins checks Hancock over on first. Swing and a miss for Dutta. Jay Dutta, one of the seniors on this Frankfort High team. Swings at 0-1 and finds himself down 0-2.
Atkins finally seems like he's starting to find his groove a little bit.
Yeah, it's one of those things probably, Chris, is, you know, you throw a few pitches and you get a little bit in the game, you kind of realize where the ump is defining the strike zone, and good player is going to be able to adjust to that. throw over to first, but Hancock really kind of sticking close to home, so to speak. Wasn't a very courageous lead. Strike three, swinging, gets the second out. Does Atkins as Dutta takes a seat.
Number 7, Roth.
Big swing and a miss there by Dutta, and that will bring Carter Roth to the plate, the DH tonight. Roth batting .265 on the year. Catcher setting up out wide. They've got a chance to make a play on this, and they do, and that will end the inning. Foul ball that the first baseman there is able to get to for Great Crossing. 4-1 your score. Great Crossing coming up to bat at the bottom of the second.
Bob Allen is Kentucky's deal maker. Shop Bob Allen of Frankfort for a winning selection of new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, as well as quality late model pre-owned. Click and save at boballenfrankfurt.com.
Game of the Week is brought to you by Bob Allen. Bob Allen is Frankfort's deal maker. Shop Bob Allen for a winning selection of new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, as well as pre-owned. Click and save at boballenfrankfurt.com. Bob Allen is a proud sponsor of high school athletics. The Game of the Week Play of the Game is brought to you by Bill McCoy Insurance Agency. Celebrating over 47 years in business. With over 15 companies to shop and collectively over 100 years of experience, call, visit us, or request quotes on BillMcCoyInsuranceAgency.com.
You finally found the perfect car in racing blue. You even got them to throw in the LED fog lights for free. Auto Owners insures your car because some people never learn to parallel park. That's simple human sense.
Bill McCoy Insurance, celebrating 46 years. Call, stop by, or visit BillMcCoyInsuranceAgency.com.
Keep going. More. No, stop!
Make sure you stay with us at the end of the game. We will have highlights for you and a wrap-up, and we will have the Bill McCoy Insurance Play of the Game.
Leading off for the Warhawks,
so make sure you stick around after this one. You don't want to miss a minute of the action, even after the action on the field is over. And whoever wins this game, as we mentioned earlier, will take on the winners of the first game. Franklin County will have all that action for you tomorrow night here on the Cable 10 Game of the Week. Leading off in the bottom of the second for Great Crossing. An attempted bunt, not successful there. This is number 1, Alcorn, the second baseman. Big swing and a miss and a strikeout. Starting the inning off right is Jonathan Smith on the mound for Frankfort High.
Number 40, Hoffman.
Smith came in and at the end of that first inning and got out of a jam and picking right up where he left off.
Yeah, that's his second strikeout of the game. That'll bring the top of the lineup back up for Great Crossing and Dustin Hoffman. Starting the second inning the same way he did the first, smacking one to outfield and getting aboard.
12, Morris.
Hit the first one to right field and took this one to left. And that brings Zach Morris to the plate, the catcher. Was Zach Morris on Saved by the Bell? I'm trying to remember if they had any baseball episodes or not.
No, I don't remember.
Yeah, I know they had a football team, and I know they had a basketball team, which was really strange because their gym only had one basket. So I don't know if in California there were just different rules, or maybe the All I know is wind sprints were probably a lot easier in that gym. Although you were probably running into each other a lot. This is why no one in my family wants to watch television like that. There's a sacrifice bunt, and that is going to get the runner over to second, nearly pulling Hancock off the bag, but he's able to step back on. Excuse me, that was Hamilton. It was 22, not 2. Nice job by Hamilton to pull that one in and get the runner that he was able to get, but Hoffman advances to second. Pitch from Smith outside. Runner in scoring position. Smith does have 2 outs. Been pretty effective in his time on the mound so far. Looks back Hoffman. That one dropping in. What a pitch.
Yeah, that caught the inside corner. Come back. And Dutta did a good job there, too, of selling it.
That one didn't curve quite as much. I think he went for the same pitch and just really wasn't able to pull the string on it like he did on the first one. And the count is 2-1. For Atkins, his opposite number. There's a big swing by Atkins. Coming on to catch that is the right fielder, and that'll end the inning with no damage done for Frankfort High. Top of the third coming up. Panthers down 4-1 to the Great Crossing Warhawks.
Game of the Week is brought to you by Whitehead Hancock. Whitehead Hancock Plumbing has been serving Frankfort families for more than 100 years. You can trust Whitehead Hancock for all your plumbing, heating, cooling, and septic needs. Call them today at 502-227-2213 for 24-hour emergency service or visit their website at whiteheadhancock.com.
Capital Expo is back June 2nd and 3rd. It's time to plan your expo experience and look at ways you can participate. Are you an arts and crafts or food vendor? Are you in a band? Interested in being a sponsor of the event? Do you feel like running in the Funnel Cake 5K? Do you want to be a star and audition for Capital Expo Idol? Get all the info you need at kyexpo.com.
Four to 1 your score. Great Crossing not able to add anything to their lead in the bottom of the second. As we go to the top of the third, Frankfort High will have the top of their order coming up.
Yeah, Smith has done a good job for Frankfort High in relief for Wellman. As Wellman kind of got into a rut there in the first inning, Smith came in, able to get them out of a jam, and then did a really good job that inning as well.
Now coming up to bat is Wellman, as Nate Atkins, the pitcher for Great Crossing, flew out to end the bottom of the second for the Warhawks. Now Garrett Wellman stepping up to the plate. I believe Garrett Wellman is now playing second. I'm not 100% sure about that. I wasn't able to catch the number because they're facing away from us.
Yeah, I think him and Smith just switched spots.
Atkins throws that in the dirt. First two have been a little bit off kilter so far here in the top of the third. The 2-0, and Wellman gets a hold of it. That might drop, and it will drop. Garrett Wellman gets aboard. It's his second hit of the game, both of them to practically the same spot.
Got one he liked after a couple out of the zone.
And you know what? If you've had a rough time on the mound, best thing you can do for yourself to make it up is just to get on base. And here's the pitcher, Jonathan Smith, coming up to the plate, the chance to help himself and help the Panthers get back in this game. I say that, and they're by no stretch out of this game. Just gotten a little bit of trouble, and those things kind of happen. But all things considered, I think the damage was probably a lot less than it could have been. Because they had another runner on that could have gotten across. Atkins checks the runner. Wellman staying at home. Swinging a foul ball back to bring the count even at 1. I want to thank everybody who's joining us on Cable 10 and everybody that's joining us on YouTube watching these games. We really appreciate everybody out there who's commenting and letting us know that they're watching, and knowing that they appreciate us. And trust me when I say, everybody here at Cable 10, we appreciate you. Let's take a look at the Whitehead Hancock replay as check swing is called a strike. The umpire deferred to his first base ump and decided with strike 1. That one swung on. That's going to get through. 2 men aboard now for Frankfort High.
Good hard hit right back up the middle there.
And that will bring Seabury to the plate. He doubled his last time up in the first inning, and that was what got the runner into scoring position, who eventually did score for Frankfort High. So runners on first and second now, no outs. Seabury's a good hitter, but do you toy around with the idea of trying to drag one down the third base line and see if you can pull that third baseman in and get the runners around, or do you let him swing at it?
I think with nobody out, I think as good of a hitter as he is, well, good call, John.
I don't know. I'm just shooting the breeze over here, man. Now with 1 strike on your hands, you got 1 more shot at it, then you pretty much have to let him swing. But I kind of agree with you, Chris. You know, given the contact he made and given, you know, his average on the season, I would be conditioned, maybe is the right word, to let him go ahead and take a cut. It looks like that's what he's just going to do. He pulled it back that time and just wasn't able to straighten it out. Seabury checking his sign. Here's the 0-2 from Atkins. Low for a ball. That one looked like it might have just caught the bottom of the strike zone, but 1-2 the count now. Let's take a look at that again here on the Whitehead Hancock replay. Just below the knees. Pretty good eye by the ump there, I gotta say. And swing and a miss, strike 3, and that'll be out number 1 as Seabury sat down.
Took a little bit off of that.
22, Hamilton.
That will bring Stephen Hamilton to the plate. He flied out to center field, but that did get the run in the top of the first.
Tall first baseman.
Able to stop that from getting behind him, which would have been a real trouble situation for Great Crossing, was the catcher. Whose name I will give you as soon as I can find my roster.
Zach Morris.
Zach Morris, how could I forget? And here's the throw to third, and they're gonna get him. Frankfort High base coach is protesting the call, but I think they were right on with that one. That was a nice strike him out, throw him out. Although I don't think they got the strikeout quite yet. I was watching the throw and I didn't see the call, but that's, they're trying to argue that he got the hand in. I was watching the tag, so I didn't really see the hand. They did not get the strikeout. Count's still 1-1 on Hamilton. But 2 outs now, that changes the entire complexion of what's going on here.
Yeah, you're down 3 runs, and Atkins is pitching a pretty good game. Tried to take advantage.
Hamilton gets a big swing on it. That one between, and that's going to drop. That'll get a run in for Frankfort High. Stephen Hamilton on his horse getting to second, goes in head first. He'll stand in at second, and another RBI, his second of the game. Frankfort High gets one back from Great Crossing. But with 2 outs, with having your lead runner thrown out just on the last play, that's a huge hit.
Number 21, Ludwig.
Yeah, you know, I'm more of a conservative. I don't know that I would have tried to double steal with your 4-hitter up.
Oh, I can see your logic, absolutely, but. And that one gets through. Hamilton coming around third. They're going to wave him home. Here comes the throw. Cutoff man hits it. It's going to get past the catcher. Ludwig will get around to second. RBI double for Ludwig. 4-3 your score. Frankfort High storming back into this one.
Another hard shot by a Frankfort High player. Hamilton being waved home. And Morris just could not come up with that ball.
Frankfort High really doing a good job of getting the bat to the ball here in the top of the third. That'll bring Austin Wellman to the plate. He had that pop fly that just fell in and between Great Crossing's 3 oncoming fielders. But then as he tried to go to second, he didn't realize how good of a beat they had on that run and was tagged out promptly after. So by the letter of the law, he is 1 for 1 in this game. Atkins' pitch count starting to creep up a little bit. It's Great Crossing just holding on to a 1-run lead now. It was 3 runs when they started this inning. Austin Wellman going to step out a little bit and have a bit of a think about it. So you have a look at the Frankfort High coach, and Wellman slaps this one. Coming on to make the catch and retire the side is the left fielder for Great Crossing, but not before Frankfort High can put 2 on the board and cut the lead to 1. Bottom of the 3rd coming up.
FPB delivers more value to our customers with Watch TV Everywhere. It's the free extra service that lets you watch favorites from your TV package on the go. Take a few minutes to sign up at fpb.cc and you'll be all set to explore many channels and on-demand shows on any internet-connected computer, laptop, tablet, or smartphone. Watch TV Everywhere. Another great way FPB delivers the choice, convenience, and value you want.
Today, we customize everything. So why not customize your video choices with NextBand Stream, the new video streaming app from FPB. Just install NextBand Stream on your smart TV, mobile, and streaming devices. Then watch with features like Restart and Replay TV, plus Cloud DVR to record cable and local channels. Powered by fast, reliable FPB internet and Wi-Fi. Customize your video. Call or visit FPB online to sign up.
Tune in to Around 10, Frankfort's very own morning show. We cover all the happenings in the capital city every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 a.m. live on Cable 10, Facebook, and YouTube. Remember, if it happens around town, it's on Around 10.
Welcome back to Western Hills High School, the Cable 10 broadcast of the 41st District Tournament. Alongside Chris Cole, I'm John Piesheimer. This is Game 2 of the 41st District Tournament. If you're just now joining us, Game 1. Well, it was a little bit less exciting in terms of the actual score line. Franklin County really laying the lumber to Western Hills in that one, 11-1. The final only went 6 innings. So the number 1 seed, Franklin County Flyers, await the winner of this one. And this one is still up for grabs by a long shot here. Leading off for Great Crossing here is Mullenix, and he slaps one out. That is going to fly just to the right side of the left fielder, and Mullenix is going to go standing up into second base.
Ball seems to be carrying a little bit more.
Number 17, Mullins.
Yeah, I don't feel much of a breeze coming our way, and we are kind of situated around the press box area, so if anything we're carrying, if any wind were present that we're going to affect the flight of the ball, keeping it from going, it's definitely not happening right now. If anything, it's going in the opposite direction. You're right, Chris. I just used 3 sentences to explain your one. It's pretty efficient, I think. And Smith throws that one into center field, trying to get the runner who wasn't even really taking that big of a lead, and that will advance Mullenix to third base. So an unforced error that time by Frankfort High.
Yeah, and you're, trailing. You really cannot afford to make any unforced errors.
Yeah, we saw in the first game really what the consequence of that can be, and it can get ugly in a hurry. So Frankfort High has made a couple, but to their credit, they've been able to really kind of regain composure and stay in it, as that guy's been a big reason why. The guy on the mound there, Jonathan Smith.
Yeah, and I mean, after the error, he's come back and thrown 2 really good pitches. And then, as I say that,
commentator's curse. None of us are immune, my friend.
Knew I should have kept my mouth shut.
Number 8, Lacey.
If we have that kind of power over time and space, you think we'd be able to, apply that to other things in life and not just players on the field.
It's like Clint Goins putting a curse on a free throw shooter.
That's true. So now we got runners on the corners. And they're going to try to get Mullins at second, and that will get the run across as a nice bit of heads-up running by Mullenix. Great crossing base coach sent him when he saw the throw going to second and going a little bit high, and great crossing able to add another one on.
I am not a fan of that throw with a man on third.
Yeah, I tend to agree. You're just kind of giving the other team an opportunity to send the runner, and that's what you don't want to do in that situation. You want a kid to have confidence and back himself a little bit. We're going to have a little meeting on the mound here as I just want to kind of talk this over. Jonathan Smith has done a pretty good job here in relief of Wellman. They want to make sure he's just in the right headspace to kind of keep this one going.
Every time I see a huddle at the mound, I think about that scene from Bull Durham.
Oh, yeah. I wonder how many times that's actually been repeated between high school, college, minor leagues. That's, required viewing, I think.
Do you think any of these kids know Bull Durham?
I think you'd be surprised. I mean, there has been a large, among kids, I think there's like a big, sort of revival of 80s and 90s culture. So maybe that's kind of a staple of it. I don't know. It seems like a lot of them have watched, I'm just thinking in terms of how they would watch 80s, 90s sports movies. And, I know there's a White Men Can't Jump reboot coming out starring Kentucky's own Jack Harlow in the Woody Harrelson slide.
Yeah.
I assume. There's the 2-0 to Lacey, and that is 3-0. But yeah, maybe Bull Durham's, I think Bull Durham's due for a...
No.
You don't think so?
No.
No, I can't. Well,
no.
I'm not saying I want it to happen.
No.
I mean, we've become far too reliant on just rehashing places we've already been. And
there are certain movies in this world that do not need to be remade.
I think most movies don't need to be remade, to be honest. But I completely agree with you. I'm not saying it should. I'm just saying I'm surprised it hasn't. Matt Lacey will go to first on a walk, and now we got runners on first and second with no outs. Frankfort High in a little bit of trouble here. That'll bring up Coulter, who had an RBI double in the first inning. And that was a passed ball, and the runner is going to advance to third here. So both runners actually advancing there. One the count to Coulter. He gets a lot behind that, but that's straight into center. And the ball is dropped. That one's going to fall fair. They don't even get an out of it, and another run scores for great crossing. The run was going to get across anyway, but what you really want there is the out, and they weren't able to get it.
Yeah, and another fly ball to the outfield.
That's the second run scored this inning, 6-3 your score as Great Crossing gets those 2 runs right back that Frankfort High took away in the top of the third.
Number 23, Lacey.
So now we have runners on second and third. As Lacey was able to get to second on that. Able to get to third, rather. Coulter. Making it to second. That brings Ben Lacey to the plate. Shows bunt, and that one gets by. Runner staying at home. Let's take a look at the replay here, and this is going to tell us how Coulter got to second as Frankfort High maybe a little shook up, and they did not even contest that. I don't even think they saw Coulter making the run. And those are the little things that if you're going to get back in this game, that can't happen. And that pitch well blocked that time for Frankfort High by Dutta. Nice job of getting that down. That probably saved a run.
Yeah, because that was one of them that was going to run all the way to the backstop.
Two and one the count. Smith dealing. That one just at the letters. That's a tight call. I know Smith probably would have liked that to have gone the other way. Here's the 3-1. That's getting the ball forward. That'll load him up. Warhawks on all 3 bases and no outs. This is officially almost on fire here for Frankfort High as Jonathan Smith still on the mound and getting some encouragement from his teammates. We saw him able to get out of the jam that was left to him when he came into the game in the first inning. Now he has one of his own creation. Well, not of his, it's never of your own creation, but the runs will get hung on him. Pitch high and outside, ball 1.
Yeah, Smith reeling a little bit here, unable to find the zone at all the last few pitches.
Up against the left-hander, Alcorn, who hits it deep into the outfield. The shift was on, so they were able to get the out, but a run will get across. That'll bring the lead to 7-3 for Great Crossing. Lacey was able to score on that one. And that'll bring Coulter to third.
Number 40.
So runners on second and third. Ben Lacey moving to second on that.
Good inside pitch that time by Smith.
That one high and away. Is the top of the order up for Great Crossing, Dustin Hoffman, who's already got a couple hits so far in this game. Had a couple hits at the box office too, if I remember correctly.
Smith gets him swinging.
Yeah, it's a huge strikeout for Jonathan Smith if he wants to stay in this game.
Number 12, Morris.
Now Zach Morris coming to the plate. We see the Whitehead Hancock replay. Just pulled the string on that one. Nice pitch. Checking the runner. And
almost got it.
Nearly got him, yeah. Way outside.
Give credit to Dutta behind the plate, because there's been a few that have got away from Smith and he's been able to corral them.
And when you've got a runner on third, that is huge to have a catcher that can do that. Frankfort High 1 strike away from getting out of this inning, but not before the damage is done. That one outside again. Like you said, Chris, Dutta probably keeping a run off the board. It's 2-1 the count for Morris here. That one just outside. Three and one. And swinging at that one is Morris. And that is just foul. 3-2 the count now, and he's got a base to put him on here. If you do that, it sets up the force at any base, but 7-3 already. I don't know that you want to be playing that game necessarily.
No, I don't think so. And I mean, with a pitcher that's, I don't want to say struggling, because but he's not seemed to be as in control.
Having a rough inning.
Yeah. And there you go.
Yeah, that was the commentator's blessing, I guess. Let's see if we can keep some of that magic going as we come to the end of the third. 7-3 your score. Great crossing. Laying 3 more on Frankfort High. And let's take a look at how we got to that 7-3 scoreline. Frankfort High getting one across in the first, but Great Crossing doing damage of their own. We had a collision there. Both players okay. Thankfully, that did score a run for Great Crossing, and they kept pouring it on in the bottom of the first. Some hard hitting. 4-1 the score there, but Frankfort High coming right back at him. Nice shot there to third. Scoring Stephen Hamilton. In the, I guess you could say, ill-advised throw to third to second. That got the ball rolling for Great Crossing in the bottom of the third. They were able to get 3 across. Nice piece of hitting there by Alcorn. Flied out to left, but got the RBI, and that brings us to our score line of 7-3. But, you know, as shaky as things might be for Frankfort High, they've shown the ability to hit the ball. So, still anybody's game here. Still very early in the game, and they've been able to get to Adkins a little bit on the mound for Great Crossing, and he's thrown a fair amount of pitches so far.
Yeah, Frankfort High has proved that they can hit Adkins, and you know, the one thing that Great Crossing has done is they've not committed any errors through the first 3 innings of this game, and Frankfort High has 4 that has led to some of those runs.
Yeah, and it's kind of almost a, you know, history repeating itself on the first game. You know, we saw 2 teams that played pretty tight over the first couple of innings, but then the mistakes kind of started to mount for Western Hills as we're getting started right away, and Frankfort High getting right to work at cutting into that lead.
Number 4.
Nice hit that time by Hancock. So he's got a walk and a hit to his name so far tonight. That'll bring Joe Dutta, the catcher, Jay Dutta, excuse me, up to the plate. And take a look at that pitch counter. You know, we were talking kind of about that 20 pitch per inning threshold, and Adkins on the mound for Great Crossing is a little bit under that right now. That one in the dirt.
Yeah, I think that second inning helped with that pitch count. It was a fairly quick inning for Frankfort High. You know, they got to him in the first inning, they got to him in the third, and already the first batter in the fourth.
Dutta swings and misses, bringing the count to 2-1. Dutta struck out swinging in the bottom of the top of the second, excuse me. Atkins delivers the 2-1, swinging, strike 2. That's twice now that Atkins just thrown it by him. There's the 2-2, strike 3, swung at 3 of them, didn't hit a 1. Nice strikeout that time by Atkins, just powered it past him.
Dutta's second strikeout, isn't it?
Yep.
But Dutta has saved multiple runs with his glove behind the plate.
And that's kind of a history of, you know, a lot of times catchers, you'll maybe deal with maybe taking a slight compromise in the production at the plate because what you get on the other side of that is worth it. Now coming up to the plate is the designated hitter, Roth. Flew out to right field. His only at bat so far in the game.
Same place.
Same place, but no one called a ball that time. Part of me wondered if this were an opportunity to have Roth try to put the ball on the ground and see if you can get that runner over to second. Snuck that one in there to even the count. Did Atkins. But that kind of maybe takes that off the table a little bit. They've got the count at 3-1. I thought that last pitch was called a strike.
Yeah, but I think they had 2 straight balls to start the at-bat. I think they just barely both missed.
Now there's strike 2 regardless. I've learned not to trust my interpretation of reality, Chris. There's the swing from Roth, and that one is fouled back. That one slapped down. Thought it might be trouble, and it was trouble as it turned out. Running on to third, sliding in head first is going to be Hancock, and he gets there. So 2 runners on, 1 out here for Frankfort High. So we got runners on first and third as that one by Rothy got just enough on it, and maybe a good job. You want to say maybe that's strategic running by Hancock here?
Yeah, I mean,
he's got to go somewhere, so it's completely legal. But it definitely was a good heads-up play there.
Yeah, and I mean, he come up out of his slide at second perfectly, which enabled him to make the turn and get on to third.
Nice job of running, and now Frankfort High is in business. Called strike. Let's take a look at this again. And I think it was just trying to rush that throw to get it to second, and maybe that's a situation on the part of the second baseman where he just needs to get the out that's provided to him, because that's an easy toss to first base. But trying to get the lead runner there cost him. And our director, David Columbia, making the point that a simple tag would have made all of that disappear. And that one slapped, and it gets through. That'll be a run across for Frankfort High. And runners on first and second. Clutch hit that time by Wellman. 7-4 now your score. Frankfort High with runners on first and second and only 1 out. Let's take a look at that. Just found the gap. Third baseman unable to come up with it for Great Crossing. That'll be in for Atkins tonight. We're going to have a pitching change here. It's Atkins after 71 pitches and just a shade under 4 innings. We'll take a seat, and it looks like we are going to get number 30 for Great Crossing. Nathan Bevins stepping up to the plate. And while he's getting warmed up, we're going to take a little break. We'll be back here in just a little bit at the 41st District Baseball Tournament here on the Cableton Game of the Week.
Here's what people are saying about Estate Tree Service.
They're honest, have experienced staff, fair rates, and I trust the quality of their work.
They were professional and courteous, and cleanup of the job site was great.
They are prompt, reliable, and they always make sure I'm satisfied, which is why when I have tree care needs, I call Estate Tree Service.
Our mission is to provide safe, quality tree care at a fair price to Central Kentucky. Go online or give us a call for a free quote.
Game of the Week is brought to you by Estate Tree Service. We have a solution for all your tree care needs. Estate Tree Service provides expert tree care and preservation. Call 502-229-5258 for a free estimate.
When she rolled up, I was shook. Like the fit was giving main character energy, no cap. And I was being like real extra, you know? Exactly. It's whatever.
It may be difficult to understand everything your teenage daughter is saying, but with a Kentucky Farm Bureau agent in every county, at least it's easy to get great insurance. Kentucky Farm Bureau, big on commitment.
Oh snap, what's the 411? Hashtag cool dad.
Dad.
Game of the Week is brought to you by J.O. Osborne with the Franklin County Farm Bureau. The Franklin County Farm Bureau's J.O. Osborne wishes all of our local teams a healthy, competitive, and successful season. J.O. and Kentucky Farm Bureau have been insuring Frankfort since 1943. With them on your team, when you experience a loss from an accident or storm, it can be a real game changer.
New pitcher stepping in for Great Crossing. This is Nathan Bevins. This is his 10th appearance on the season. He's pitching with an ERA of 2.7. 34 strikeouts on the year. He does lead the Warhawks in that category. This is only his second relief appearance of the year. He steps in to face Jonathan Smith. Smith with the single so far in the bottom of the third, 1-1. on the night, flew out to first base in the top of the first. Smith gets a hold of it. It's a bouncer, and they're going to get the runner at second, and they'll turn. No, they called him safe. I think he pulled him off the bag with that one. And our vantage point kind of was blocked off a little bit, but Frankfort High staying alive. Take a look at that shortstop. Nice little toss. But the second baseman just not able to get his throw on line. Had to pull the first baseman off the bag just a little bit. And Lacey just not able to pull that one in, so they get the out, but the first batter that Bevins faces gets aboard. So we got runners on the corners here. 2 outs now. And swinging at the first pitch is Seabree. Seabree 1 for 2 tonight. Got a big double in the first inning that really set up the first run for Frankfort High, but then struck out in the top of the third. Lets that one drop for a ball. Let's take a look at that double. This is the one that Stephen Hamilton had. That was the pinch fly that just snuck in. Or that was the one he had in the second. The double that he got, that was the top of the third. And that's really what's keeping Frankfort High in this ball game. Here's the 1-2 to Seabree. And he gets a hold of it. This one's going to be a fly out, and that'll end the inning. Frankfort High gets one back. 7-4 your score. Great crossing coming up in the bottom of the fourth.
In today's fast-paced housing market, you need realtors with experience who understand that timing is essential when finding the perfect home for the right price. Tim and Rebecca Hubbard with Exit Realty Crutcher are here to ensure that you and your family have a positive experience from start to finish.
Real estate is what we do,
And families are why we do it.
Game of the Week is brought to you by Tim and Rebecca Hubbard with Exit Realty Crutcher. Choose local realtors that treat you like family, because real estate is what we do and families are why we do it.
Bob Allen is Kentucky's deal maker. Shop Bob Allen of Frankfort for a winning selection of new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, as well as quality late model pre-owned. Click and save at boballenfrankfort.com.
Game of the Week is brought to you by Bob Allen. Bob Allen is Frankfort's deal maker. Shop Bob Allen for a winning selection of new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, as well as pre-owned. Click and save at boballenfrankfort.com. Bob Allen is a proud sponsor of high school athletics. The Game of the Week Play of the Game is brought to you by Bill McCoy Insurance Agency, celebrating over 47 years in business. With over 15 companies to shop and collectively over 100 years of experience, call, visit us, or request quotes on BillMcCoyInsuranceAgency.com.
Welcome back to Western Hills High School. It is the nightcap of the 41st District Tournament. 7-4 your score. Frankfort High getting one run back in the top of the fourth. Great crossing now coming up to bat. And been a pretty interesting ball game thus far. Of course, the winner of this game will move on to take on Franklin County, who won the earlier game against the hosts, Western Hills, 11-1. Franklin County being the #1 seed of the tournament.
Yeah, and you got to hope, if you're a Frankfort High fan, that this inning goes quick.
Atkins stepping into the plate. He was your starting pitcher for Great Crossing, but did not make it out of this inning, but certainly helping the cause on the scoreboard, or at least attempting to, as he gets a single through.
Yeah, and a shot right back up, just right at second base into the outfield.
I think you're right, Chris. I do think the ball's carrying out there a little bit more because it just seems like it's got a little bit more gusto than it did in the first game when it comes off the bat. That'll bring Mullenix to the plate. And the runner will advance on that passed ball. Mullenix struck out in the bottom of the first, but had a double and came around to score in the third. That one's going to get by, and that will advance the runner over to third. He'll stay there, but two wild throws in a row, and Atkins goes from first to third. That's not the kind of thing you can afford to have if you're Frankfort High right now.
No, you definitely, going into the bottom of the fourth, trailing 3, and the leadoff batter hits a single and then 2 consecutive wild pitches to move them to third with nobody out. It's
not the kind of baseball that's going to get you back in the game. The 3-1 is down and away, and that'll put another runner on. So runners at the corners now. As Mullenix is walked.
Number 17, Mullins.
That will bring Mullins to the plate. Flew out to right field in the first. Walked in the third and got around on a series of wild pitches.
Seems to be a recurring theme tonight.
Yeah, that's just kind of been our night. It's the throw by Smith. Not in time. Let's take a look at the replay here.
Just beats it back.
Yeah. That was actually a heads-up dive by Mullenix because that's about as good of a pickoff move as you'd like to have. They're going to try to get the job done at second, but not going to be anywhere as close. As Seabury, the shortstop, just kind of cuts that one off. So now you've got runners at second and third. No outs. Not able to see as Mullenix moves over to second.
Well, and Seabury probably saved a run stepping up and getting that short throw.
Yeah, it's a good observation there, Chris. Nice job. Nice heads-up play by Seabury there. Now ahead of the count is Jonathan Smith. One strike away from getting a desperately needed out. There's a chopper to first base. This should be pretty routine, and it is. It's 1 out. 2 men on, second and third. And that'll bring Matt Lacey to the plate.
Number 8, Lacey.
Matt Lacey's gotten across the plate twice so far today. Had a double in the first and then walked in the second, and just another one of those wild pitch cacophonies, I guess, for lack of a better word. Some of you are going to find a better word than that. But was able to score in the third. Nice pitch there, and that one falls in for a strike by Smith. He's still looks like he's got some left in the tank. I mean, we're at 60 pitches right now, and he's worked for pretty much 3 1/4 innings at this point. Of course, he took over for Garrett Wellman in the first, and that one is going to roll foul, much to the delight of the Panther faithful. Let's take a look at the replay here. Luckily, it rolled foul before third baseman had to get down and start blowing on it, which we've seen sometimes before.
Yeah.
Here's the 1-2, and that's going to get past. That doesn't carry far enough to threaten to get the run in. They certainly thought about sending him. But for now, Atkins going to stay at third. And there's the pitch to Lacey, and that will bring the run in. As Atkins scores, Mullenix moves to third. And the hole gets a little bit deeper for Frankfort High.
Yeah, Dutta has done a great job all night, and that takes a toll.
You keep throwing it like that, they're going to miss one eventually. Been a tough night for Frankfort High so far.
There's that cow again over there to the right of the.
I know after the first one, you think the humane thing to do is just bring it inside, but. And that one's popped straight back. That'll bring the count full. Getting a punch out here would be huge for Smith. A 3-2, and it's swung on. It's a fly ball and foul.
Yeah, Hammonds just couldn't get over deep enough to catch that one as it was over near the bullpen.
Chris, are you a little surprised to see nobody working out in the bullpen there for Frankfort High?
I think so. I think maybe they're hoping Smith can get through this one.
And that ball in the dirt, that'll put the runner aboard, but a nice job again there by Dutta, because if that one gets by, that's going to score another run, and this one starts to get out of hand.
Yeah, and Lacey does a good job, kind of like Hancock did for Frankfort High earlier in the game, battling through an at-bat.
Yeah.
And draws a walk.
And that's just where, not every at-bat has to be a RBI double, single, anything like that to have value. If you get the pitcher to throw about 7 or 8, 9 pitches and, just work yourself on base even, you've really kind of done your job there at the plate. So they're going to talk things over right now at the mound. Frankfort High coming in as the number 3 seed. Looking to try to get back in this one as the Warhawks are going to have 1 foot in the final tomorrow night so far, but still a lot of baseball to be played here. We're just in the bottom of the 4th. While we got a second, want to give another shout out to our sponsors, Estate Tree Service. Want to thank them for sponsoring Game of the Week Baseball, and as well as J.O. Osborne with Franklin County Farm Bureau. Thank you for making this game and all of our baseball and softball games here in 2023 possible. Now Smith will step back on the mound.
Number 14, Coulter.
That'll bring Coulter to the plate. And they're going to try to throw down, and I think that's probably a wise move there by Smith to kind of, and they may have just been trying to bait the runner there into trying to move from third. That's what the throw looked like coming from Dutta. And that's strike 2 there.
Yeah, this would be a huge out for Smith and the Panthers.
As one of Chris's many admirers came by to say hello. And that is a big strike 3 as Coulter is sat down. And now 2 outs. And Smith close to keeping the damage to a minimum here. So that'll bring Ben Lacey to the plate. Lacey struck out in the first and walked in the second. And I believe was stranded at third. And Smith is quickly in a hole here. We've seen Smith really be dominant against some batters, and then we've seen some where he's struggling to get anywhere close. Gets the ball in there that time.
Yeah, and we've seen all the pitchers tonight trying to go low and away.
With mixed results.
Yeah.
3-1 the count now. And Smith walks him. That wasn't far away from the one they got in for a strike, but did look just a little bit more outside.
Yeah,
and now they're loaded up.
Tailed off a little bit on him. Getting a little cool. You know, ball not probably breaking as much, you know.
And for a pitcher that throws what Smith likes to throw, that's an issue. That one wide outside. Brings Alcorn to the plate. Alcorn has an RBI so far on that fly out in the bottom of the third that he had out to left field. Struck out in the second. Brenton Alcorn, the second baseman, or excuse me, the shortstop. And Smith is down 3-0. Sneaks that one in there for a strike. Alcorn's batting average, nothing to write home about, under the 200 mark. So if you're Smith, you want to just maybe not fool around with this guy if you can help it. And he's going to put him on. And that will walk the 9th run home for Great Crossing. As Molinek steps over the plate, everybody advances. And like I said, for a guy that is batting under 200, you don't want to be putting that guy on base when you don't have to.
No, and even worse, now it brings up the top of the lineup.
And that's a fly out, and that's going to hit the gap. That'll bring at least 1, 2, probably 3 runs, and this is starting to get out of hand for Jonathan Smith at Frankfort High as Great Crossing pushes this out to 12-4. And that's, you know, what we talked about when you put it, you know, when you're having trouble with your control at the bottom end of the lineup, that's, you know, that can end in tragedy almost because the top of the lineup comes up and you said it, predicted it right before it happened.
Well, and, you know, Hoffman has hit the ball extremely well tonight.
That's his third hit of the night, double and 2 singles so far. Adds 2 RBIs to his tally. 3 RBIs. That's right, on that hit alone. And that might be the end of the night for Jonathan Smith. I don't see if they've got anybody warming up or not, but I believe we're going to have a change as we'll have a new pitcher coming in for Frankfort High. I believe Ty Hancock's being the one to be tasked with trying to put out this fire. And while Hancock's getting warmed up, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back here for the conclusion of the bottom of the 4th here on the Cable 10 Game of the Week.
You finally found the perfect car in racing blue. You even got them to throw in the LED fog lights for free. Auto Owners insures your car because some people never learn to parallel park. That's simple human sense.
Bill McCoy Insurance, celebrating 46 years. Call, stop by, or visit BillMcCoyInsuranceAgency.com.
Keep going. More. No, stop!
Game of the Week is brought to you by Whitehead Hancock. Whitehead Hancock Plumbing has been serving Frankfort families for more than 100 years. You can trust Whitehead Hancock for all your plumbing, heating, cooling, and septic needs. Call them today at 502-227-2213 for 24-hour emergency service or visit their website at whiteheadhancock.com.
This one's getting out of hand a little bit for Frankfort High, 12-4. Now the score is Great Crossing has put 5 across here in the bottom of the 4th. With 2 outs, Ty Hancock takes over to try to stop the bleeding with Zach Morris at the plate. Morris was hit by a pitch in the first and wound up scoring. And had a sacrifice bunt in the second. That one sprayed out wide. He just got a hold of it. But Hancock immediately ahead. 0-2 in the count. Hancock with a kind of exaggerated, I guess, wind up there. It looked like he just got a little bit out of sync, and that allowed the runner to get to third. So Hoffman now standing at third base. And that pitch is high and outside, and that'll even the count at 2. Hancock sits him down, and the Panthers get out of it, not before giving up 5 runs. And Great Crossing way ahead as Frankfort High comes to bat in the top of the 5th with a lot of work to do. 12-4 your score. We'll be back in a little bit here on the Cable 10 Game of the Week.
FPB delivers more value to our customers with Watch TV Everywhere. It's the free extra service that lets you watch favorites from your TV package on the go. Take a few minutes to sign up at fpb.cc and you'll be all set to explore many channels and on-demand shows on any internet-connected computer, laptop, tablet, or smartphone. Watch TV Everywhere. Another great way FPB delivers the choice, convenience, and value you want.
Tune in to Around 10, Frankfort's very own morning show. We cover all the happenings in the capital city every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 a.m. live on Cable 10, Facebook, and YouTube. Remember, if it happens around town, it's on Around 10.
Hello, my name is Greg with the State Tree Service, the name you know and trust.
Over the past 60 years, the State Tree Service has become a name people know and trust in Central Kentucky. From tree removal, pruning, and stump grinding to debris cleanup, we are always available with our 24/7 emergency services. Estate Tree Service is licensed and insured, and our mission is to provide safe, quality tree care at a fair rate. Give us a call at 502-229-5258 or go online for a free quote.
Game of the Week is brought to you by Estate Tree Service. We have a solution for all your tree care needs. Estate Tree Service provides expert tree care and preservation. Call 502-229-5258 for a free estimate.
Bottom of the lineup coming up for Frankfort High as we start the top half of the 5th inning, and Frankfort High looking up at a much higher deficit on the scoreboard than they did when last they were at bat. 12-4 your score as Great Crossing gets across 5 in the bottom half of the 4th. Alongside Chris Cole, I'm John Piesheimer. I want to thank all of our colleagues here at Cable 10, both here in the truck and out in the elements, helping us bring you this game, and want to thank you for watching. And a shout out to our normal play-by-play guy, Clint Goins, who's a little bit under the weather, wasn't able to make it tonight, but has been communicating with us, so he's definitely watching and in good spirits as always.
Yeah, and y'all scraped the bottom of the barrel finding me tonight.
Hey, you know what? Misery loves company, my man. If you can't be good, be available. That's been my strategy. Bevan's taking the mound here. He came on in relief for Adkins in the top half of the 4th. And that was close and did not go the way of Hamilton. I said it was the bottom of the order, but it really wasn't. I had my sheet just a little bit wrong. Stephen Hamilton, he's been one of the weapons that Frankfort High has had tonight, but they kind of take the bat out of his hands that time, and Hamilton will walk to start off the inning. That'll bring Drew Ludwig to the plate. Ludwig, last time he was at bat, top half of the 3rd, had a double that advanced the runner to 3rd, who eventually scored.
Yeah, I think he would like to head that one back, that pitch right there.
There's the 0-1, and it's outside to even up the count. Drew Ludwig batting .345 on the season. 23 walks, 20 RBIs, 20 hits and 58 at-bats. Swings at one that was high and inside. Probably would like to have that swing back. And we're gonna have a meeting at the mound here. Let's take a look at this again. Well, he wanted to take that one over the fence. And I think he had his mind on that and didn't realize until it was too late that that wasn't in the cards with that pitch. Here's the 1-2. Low and outside to even the count. Ludwig, the third baseman, gets a hold of one. Is that going to stay fair? And that one goes foul.
Well, he turned on that one.
That was close to being 12-6 right there. He got all of it, just turned a little bit too fast. Now Ludwig looking at 2-2. And here's the 2-2, and 3-2 is the count. You could tell the catcher was trying to place that one a little bit. They wanted to see Ludwig back in the dugout. Ludwig almost went around on that. That'll bring the count full. Here's a payoff pitch from Bevins. Strike 3 called. Ludwig chased that one that was up and in, and that one right down the middle and just left it alone. Might have thought it was a little bit outside. That'll bring up Austin Wellman. Wellman, the left fielder, had a hit in the first inning but was tagged out trying to get to second. They reached on a error by the left fielder in the top half of the third. I'm calling it an error anyway. I can't even remember what happened. That's what I wrote down. And Wellman steps out a little bit as Bevins just wanted to kind of step off the plate and get his grip reasserted. And here's the 1-1. Chris, you alluded to it earlier, but it has cooled off significantly. Still a nice night, but we don't quite have the humidity and the moisture out there that we did before. So that might be affecting things a little bit.
Yeah, and I mean, you're starting to see the ball carry. I mean, Ludwig turned on one down the left field line. It just went foul. If that stays fair, that's over defense in left field.
Yeah.
And that breeze in that first game was coming directly in from center field.
Swinging on the 2-2 and fouling it straight back is Austin Wellman. There's the 2-2. Right at his feet. With the man on. Wellman has run the count full here. Let's hope he fares better than Ludwig for the Frankfort High faithful. And struck him out looking. Second strikeout looking for Bevins. Let's take a look at that one.
Same pitch.
Yeah, same pitch, same spot, same result. And that's one of those, if you see somebody else strike out like that, you got to know that pitch is coming. That's his get-out pitch, and
yeah,
he's gotten out twice. Still a runner on first, and that will bring to the plate Ty Hancock, who's now the pitcher for Frankfort High. Hancock got aboard via a walk in the top of the second. Then singled and came around to score in the top of the fourth. The 0-2 from Bevins. Looked like he kind of went right back to that pitch, but wasn't able to kind of place it like he wanted to. That'll be 1-2. Swung on and hit, and that gets past the third baseman, and that is going to be an E5. And Hancock gets aboard again, and now all of a sudden Frankfort High has 2 runners on base.
Yeah, that's an instance of coming up and throwing before you got the ball. Now you got to think if you're Great Crossing, you just infield ball, you just go to the easiest base.
Yeah. And we've seen that before tonight. It's one of those where you don't try to do too much. Got a pinch hitter here for Frankfort High. Apologies, as we were not able to find a roster for Frankfort High that had numbers on it, but we can, if you'll give us just a second, we're going through our files and files here. We'll eventually get that information to you. This is Risk at the plate, and that is a chopper to first, and that'll end the inning. 12-4. Great Crossing on top, coming to bat in the bottom of the 5th.
When she rolled up, I was shook. Like the fit was giving main character energy, no cap. And I was being like real extra, you know? Exactly. It's whatever.
It may be difficult to understand everything your teenage daughter is saying, but with a Kentucky Farm Bureau agent in every county, at least it's easy to get great insurance. Kentucky Farm Bureau, big on commitment.
Oh snap, what's the 411? Hashtag cool dad.
Dad.
Game of the Week is brought to you by J.O. Osborne with the Franklin County Farm Bureau. The Franklin County Farm Bureau's J.O. Osborne wishes all of our local teams a healthy, competitive, and successful season. J.O. and Kentucky Farm Bureau have been insuring Frankfort since 1943. With them on your team, when you experience a loss from an accident or storm, it can be a real game changer.
In today's fast-paced housing market, you need realtors with experience who understand that timing is essential when finding the perfect home for the right price. Tim and Rebecca Hubbard with Exit Realty Crutcher are here to ensure that you and your family have a positive experience from start to finish.
Real estate is what we do,
and families are why we do it.
Game of the Week is brought to you by Tim and Rebecca Hubbard with Exit Realty Crutcher. Choose local realtors that treat you like family because real estate is what we do and families are why we do it.
We've reached the bottom of the 5th, 12-4 your score. Great Crossing on top of Western Hills, and the Warhawks are coming to bat with a chance to end this one early if they get a couple more runs across. Frankfort High just not able to get that base runner over. They had 2 runners on in the top half of the 5th. Just couldn't make it happen. And you see that 4 next to the 4 for Frankfort High. 4 errors on the game compared to 2 for Great Crossing. And the Great Crossing errors really have kind of been ones that don't burn you. Frankfort High is not so much. Ty Hancock delivering well outside and in the dirt.
Hancock has an unorthodox windup, and that cost them that last inning.
Yeah. Yeah, let it run, get across. That one's smacked hard by Bevins, and that'll get through. Adkins, excuse me. Adkins with another hit. And that'll bring the game-winning run to the plate.
Number 4, Mullins.
That was Atkins' second hit of the game. Now Mullenix will come to the plate for Great Crossing. Mullenix doubled in the third and got on base via a walk in the last inning. That one drops in for a strike. Hancock looks back the runner. And Mullenix was showing bunt. Now there's going to be a throw to second. They've got a chance, and they got him. Nice throw by Dutta there. Got it to the second baseman. And that was a nice job of not letting him slide under the tag by, I believe that's Garrett Wellman over at second. Let's take a look at this again on the Whitehead Hancock replay. I apologize, that was the shortstop, Seabree, covering and gets the tag right on the top of the head. Can't deny that one. Fantastic play. And Frankfort High getting the first out of the inning. That one high and inside for Mullenix. Drops in for a strike. Hancock's got a nice pitch like that. Nice breaking ball, and it's fooled a couple of guys so far. And all of a sudden, Frankfort High with 2 quick outs.
Number 17, Mullins.
That'll bring Mullins to the plate for Great Crossing. He swings a first pitch and knocks it foul. Micah Mullins on the season. 329 average, 24 hits, 24 RBIs. Pretty reliable hitter for the Warhawks.
He's in a hole now.
Yeah, Ty Hancock's been really impressive so far in this 5th inning. And he went, did he check a swing? They're gonna say no, so Mullins stays alive, if just. That one way inside. Mullins lays off of it and brings the count even. Two and two to count to Micah Mullins, and he waits on that and gets all of it running in to try to get it, and not able to get to it in time as the right fielder. So Micah Mullins will get aboard with a single out to right field. That will once again bring the winning run to the plate for Great Crossing, but long way to go to get there.
We've seen him do some damage with 2 outs.
This is true. Matt Lacey coming to the plate now, I believe. And the throw over, and Mullins staying at home. Second baseman Matt Lacey's scored 3 of the 12 runs for Great Crossing so far in this game. 2 walks, excuse me, and a double so far for Lacey. Been very effective at the plate for the Warhawks. Here's the 0-1. That'll be fouled back. For Western Hill, or excuse me, I keep seeing the Western Hills in the background, so I keep associating that. There's the slapper. That's going to go to second base, and that will get Frankfort High out of the inning and continue this game. Frankfort High dodging a bullet right there, and we will go to the top of the sixth. 12-4, your score.
Bob Allen is Kentucky's deal maker. Shop Bob Allen of Frankfort for a winning selection of new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, as well as quality late model pre-owned. Click and save at boballenfrankfort.com.
Game of the Week is brought to you by Bob Allen. Bob Allen is Frankfort's deal maker. Shop Bob Allen for a winning selection of new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, as well as pre-owned. Click and save at boballenfrankfort.com. Bob Allen is a proud sponsor of high school athletics. The Game of the Week Play of the Game is brought to you by Bill McCoy Insurance Agency. Celebrating over 47 years in business. With over 15 companies to shop and collectively over 100 years of experience, call, visit us, or request quotes on BillMcCoyInsuranceAgency.com.
You finally found the perfect car in racing blue. You even got them to throw in the LED fog lights for free. Auto Owners insures your car because some people never learn to parallel park. That's simple human sense.
Bill McCoy Insurance, celebrating 46 years. Call, stop by, or visit BillMcCoyInsuranceAgency.com.
Keep going. More. No, stop!
Game of the Week is brought to you by Whitehead Hancock. Whitehead Hancock Plumbing has been serving Frankfort families for more than 100 years. You can trust Whitehead Hancock for all your plumbing, heating, cooling, and septic needs. Call them today at 502-227-2213 for 24-hour emergency service, or visit their website at whiteheadhancock.com.
Back at Western Hills High School, it is the nightcap of the 41st District Tournament. Great Crossing up 12-4 on Frankfort High after a couple of really bad innings for the Panthers in the field in the bottom of the third and the fourth. They were able to blank the Warhawks in the fifth. And now Frankfort High coming to bat in the top of the sixth, trying to just stay alive here. DH Roth is going to lead off here for Frankfort High, and then they'll get to the top of their order. He looks at a strike from Bevins. Nathan Bevins has been pretty effective at on the pitching mound so far. He took over in the third for Atkins, and that is swung on by Roth, and that'll be foul. And Roth striking out, looking. He held off of that because I think he thought it was going to be outside, but that one caught the plate, and Carter Roth, the junior, sat down, and that will bring up the top of the order. It brings Garrett Wellman to the plate. Wellman singled in the first inning out to right field and ended up scoring. Was caught stealing in the third. And stranded in the second on a fielder's choice. Or put out, rather. Dirt. Seems like a long time ago, but Garrett Wellman was actually the starting pitcher for Frankfort High way back when in the first inning.
He got roughed up early.
But to his credit, he's been pretty effective from the plate and just kept his head in the game. Bad starts happen. Here's the 3-1 from Bevins. That will put Garrett Wellman aboard. Now Jonathan Smith, I believe, is coming to the plate. Yes, that is correct. He's still in the game. I believe he took over at first for Hancock. Or center field, excuse me. And that'll move the runner over to second as Wellman is going to go in standing up. Here's the 1-0. Smith takes a swing, and that will get through. Wellman will get to third, and he'll stay there. Now runners on the corners with only one out for Frankfort High, trying to sneak back into this one.
Number 8, Seabury.
That will bring Seabury to the plate. Seabury with the double in the first, strikeout in the third, and flew out to left field in the fourth. Looks at strike one.
Yeah, I think if you're Great Crossing, you don't even worry about that run at first. You just hold suit, get the batter.
Yeah, you've got a 8-run lead. You can play with a little bit of conservatism. Just don't give up the big play to apply some football logic to it, especially since we're only a couple months away.
Be here before you know it.
That's right. As we are in the shadow of the Western Hills Football Stadium here. And is swung on. That will get the lead runner, but runner will get aboard. And trying to run to second, a little bit of a hesitation of a run, but he will get there. Is Seabury. So Seabury gets the run across. They get the lead runner in Smith, or they get the runner on second in Smith.
22, Hamilton.
The Wellman scores from third. And Frankfort High gets one of those runs back. And I think they did kind of what you thought, Chris. They got the out that was the easiest to get. Didn't worry about the runner because you got an 8-run lead. Now 7. But on the flip side of that, you got a runner in scoring position now as Seabury was able to advance on that passed ball at first. And now you've got Stephen Hamilton, your number 4 hitter, up at the bat. Although he is quickly finding himself down 0-2. And Bevins has just been steady so far on the mound. Here's the 0-2. Hamilton gets a hold of it, and that might score another one. They're going to send the runner in, or they're going to hold the runner rather, and that was a good call because that was a pretty sharp throw from shallow center field. So now Frankfort High with runners on first and third. Things are getting interesting. Great Crossing playing shallow that time, and that worked to their advantage. Kept a run off the board, really. But now Drew Ludwig up at the plate. He had that one that he just got every single inch of and just went foul in the last inning. But ended up striking out at that at-bat. He does have a double on the day. It looked like that just accidentally hit his bat as he was trying to back off of it. But it'll count as a strike all the same. Two outs, runners on the corners here for Great Crossing. Not able to get that one to drop was Bevins, and that'll bring the count even at 1-1. Really like to get a big hit here. Ludwig as he smashes that one. But that will bring the inning to a close. A fly out to right field, and Frankfort High gets one back, but you know they would have liked to have had more because it's still a pretty big gap to Great Crossing. 5-12 the score as we head to the bottom of the 6th.
Capital Expo is back June 2nd and 3rd. It's time to plan your expo experience and look at ways you can participate. Are you an arts and crafts or food vendor? Are you in a band? Interested in being a sponsor of the event? Do you feel like running in the Funnel Cake 5K? Do you want to be a star and audition for Capital Expo Idol? Get all the info you need at kyexpo.com.
FPB delivers more value to our customers with Watch TV Everywhere. It's the free extra service that lets you watch favorites from your TV package on the go. Take a few minutes to sign up at fpb.cc and you'll be all set to explore many channels and on-demand shows on any internet-connected computer, laptop, tablet, or smartphone. Watch TV Everywhere, another great way FPB delivers the choice, convenience, and value you want.
Back at Western Hills High School, night has fallen. We are just about at 11 o'clock, and 12-0 is your score as we enter the bottom of the 6th. Great Crossing have been putting it on Frankfort High. And Frankfort High just managing to stay alive in this one. And of course, as we mentioned earlier, the winner of this game moves on to take on Franklin County. And the longer we get into the night here, the more of a disadvantage it's going to be for whoever does win this game in that game, because that one ended pretty early.
Yeah, it's been a long game, and we're just in the bottom of the 6th.
Coming to bat for Great Crossing here in the bottom of the 6th is number 14, Coulter. He's had a couple of big hits tonight. Had one in the 2nd that scored a run. Struck out his last time up. That one high and inside. That one dropped, but did not drop where Ty Hancock wanted it to. That brings the count even. Here's the, sorry, it's 2-1, now 3-1 after that pitch into the dirt. Frankfort High do have to be careful here because although they did get one run back in that last inning, if Great Crossing get 3 across here, that will still mean the end of this game. We're in the bottom of the order for Great Crossing, but the bottom of the order has still been pretty effective for the Warhawks.
It has.
Count is full here to Coulter. Hancock delivers, and that hits him. So Coulter will get aboard. That's the last thing the Panthers wanted to see as they try to stay alive here in this game.
He is not.
Number 23, Lacey.
That'll bring Ben Lacey to the plate. Lacey's walked twice and scored a run in the bottom half of the fourth. And that pitch high and inside for ball one. Hancock delivers. That one is a well-placed bunt. Runner will get across. Close play at first, but they did manage to get him. But the sacrifice bunt moves the runner, Coulter, over to second.
Number 1, Alcorn.
That will bring Alcorn to the plate. Alcorn scored in the fourth rather, reaching on a walk. And here's the pitch by Hancock. That's low and inside, but they did manage to keep the runner from advancing. And that one behind, and that will get Lacey, or Coulter rather, over to third. He'll stay there, but Great Crossing threatening here. And getting all of that one is Alcorn. That will drop, and it'll score a run. Alcorn with a bloop single, push the lead out to 13-5 with only one out for Great Crossing.
Number 4.
That is the second RBI on the game for Chase Coulter, or excuse me, for Britton Alcorn. That'll bring the top of the order up for Great Crossing, which is not what Frankfort High wanted to see with only one out. So up to the plate is the left fielder, Dustin Hoffman, who has really been hitting the ball well so far tonight. 2 singles and a double. Run scored in the first. Hancock doesn't get that one to drop. They try to see if they can get Alcorn at first, but nothing doing. Frankfort High fighting to stay alive here. They've really as far as hitting the ball, have been pretty even in terms of being able to get the bat to the ball with great crossing. It's just been some of the other things that have hampered Frankfort High a little bit. So we see the pickoff play, and Hancock nearly throwing himself out of his shoes. That's a big hit by Hoffman. That's going to drop. That'll get the runner to at least third. Hoffman's on his horse. He's going to try to get to second. He will, standing up. So runners on second and third now. It's a big hit by Hoffman. His second double of the game. He's 4 for 4, and just a mighty performance by Dustin Hoffman.
Number 12, Morris.
That will bring Zach Morris to the plate. The plate even. As Jay Dutta, the catcher, comes out to have a discussion with Hancock on how to handle this. The score being 13-5 in favor of Great Crossing. Frankfort High season on the line. Three at bats so far today as that one gets past, and that will be the 14th run for Great Crossing. As that one bouncing off the chest of Dutta. Alcorn scores. (14-5) your score, and Frankfort High in trouble here. As Hoffman advanced to third on that wild pitch. Hancock threw that one in the dirt, and Dutta managed to get in front of it. Zach Morris, he got aboard in the first and scored. And he smashes that one, but it'll go foul on the right side. Zach Morris had a sacrifice bunt in the second to advance the runner, but the runner wound up being stranded on the very next at bat. And then he struck out in the bottom of the fourth. (14-5) your score, 2-1 the count with one out. That one just fails to catch the edge, so 3-1 the count for Zach Morris and Ty Hancock. In a little spot of trouble here. Hancock delivers the 3-1, and Morris fouls it off. This will be the 41st pitch for Ty Hancock on the night. Hancock started off the game at center field. Comes on in relief as the starter, as Zach Morris calls one of his trademark timeouts. Been waiting for that one all night. Here comes the payoff pitch to Morris, and it's in the dirt, and Morris will get aboard on balls. So now runners at first and third for Great Crossing. We'll get a pinch runner for Zach Morris here as coming to the plate is going to be the starting pitcher
Number 34
for Great Crossing. Made it 3.5 innings in Nate Adkins. Reached on an error in the first, flew out to right in the second, and scored on a single and a wild pitch in the bottom half of the fourth. Was left stranded in the fifth, and that one's going to get by him, and that is probably going to spell the end of the game, and it will, as Great Crossing gets run number 15 across, and that gets us to the mercy rule, and Great Crossing will advance to take on Franklin County tomorrow night in the championship of the 41st District. As that pass gets past the catcher, and the wild pitch costs Frankfort High the game, and their season will come to an end.
Have a safe trip home, and as always, God bless.
15-5 your score. Great Crossing ends it in 6. We'll be back with highlights and play of the game. Stay with us here on the Cable 10 Game of the Week.
The Game of the Week Play of the Game is brought to you by Bill McCoy Insurance Agency, celebrating over 47 years in business. With over 15 companies to shop and collectively over 100 years of experience, call, visit us, or request quotes on BillMcCoyInsuranceAgency.com.
You finally found the perfect car in racing blue. You even got them to throw in the LED fog lights for free. Auto Owners insures your car because some people never learn to parallel park. That's simple human sense.
Bill McCoy Insurance, celebrating 46 years. Call, stop by, or visit BillMcCoyInsuranceAgency.com.
Keep going. More. No, stop!
15-5 your score. It's all over here at Western Hills in the 41st District Tournament. Game 2, Great Crossing moving on to take on Franklin County. 15-5 the score over Frankfort High. And the Warhawks doing all their damage at the plate tonight. Here is our Bill McCoy Insurance Agency play of the game, and it is a big, timely double out to center left. And that one scored 3, and that was pretty much the dagger that kind of made this one academic. And we played on for a few more innings, but ended in 6, 15-5 the final. Great Crossing moving on. Frankfort High season ends. And let's show you some of the highlights from tonight as Game 2 is now in the books. Make sure you tune in tomorrow night as these Great Crossing Warhawks take on the Franklin County Panthers, or excuse me, the Franklin County Flyers, who won the first game over hosts Western Hills. Should be a great game. We hope you join us here on Cable 10. And for Doug Crow, David Columbia, Zach Hubbard, Zach McDonald, Brent Todd, and my broadcast partner, Chris Cole, I'm John Piesheimer. I want to thank you for watching. Have a great night.